Hey, this is Matt once again with about 10 videos that I paid requests. This time for Serena. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2005 film Rent, which I never saw the Broadway musical. Apparently, of the 8 actors, 6 of them are from there when they did on Broadway. And one of them is Anthony Rapp, which I recognize him. He's the guy who played Daryl in Adventures in Babysitting. He was the neighbor that went with the kids, and the three of them go on this journey to Elizabeth Shue across to the city and stuff. I liked Adventures in Babysitting. Well, it's Anthony Rapp. He's also one of the guys that accused Kevin Spacey of doing those things. Now, this is directed by Chris Columbus, the director of Home Alone 2, Mrs. Doubtfire, among other other movies. And the two people, Rosario Dawson, I don't think she was in the Broadway play. And I like Rosario Dawson. I do like her as an actress from Clerks 2. She was in Sin City. Now, Taye Diggs, I don't know if he was in the Broadway play, but I'm assuming not. Could be wrong on that. Sadly, Taye Diggs doesn't have anything to do, which is too bad, because I like him. I liked him in the House on Haunted Hill remake. I liked him in this TV show called Daybreak. And he's really given nothing to do. And the movie on itself apparently was a big bomb when it came out. I guess it's a film that people thought was going to do better. People assumed it would do a bit better because Rent is such a popular Broadway musical. Some people talked about how it was a bit weird because when they did the musical, the actors were much younger, and the actors, like the characters, are supposed to be a lot younger. So when they're having all these angsty conversations, now they're like 30 to 40 years old, and it seems a bit weirder that you don't have your head on straight and your life on the straight and narrow path, despite the fact you're like 35. Now, it takes place in 1989, and I will say some of the music is catchy. I will be fair. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? 525,600 minutes. And it's one of those films that a lot of it is a musical, and even a lot of dialogue is sung like a musical. There's not a whole lot of dialogue when it's not just the music going on. I'm not saying there are some, but like if you look at like Little Shop of Horrors, it plays like a movie, and every once in a while you get a musical number, which I do like that movie, Little Shop of Horrors. This, at times, because of that, well, actually, that's not even true. Because I was going to say, it doesn't really have much of a dramatic emotional heft. You can make that happen. Little Shop of Horrors did, where I felt the love story between Rick Moranis and the girl. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. I mean, I felt more emotional after that movie than this. It's trying to take place within the span of a year. But I swear it felt like it was only a span of 3 months with the way the movie comes up. And it's a long movie, too. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, of the characters, if I can get this straight, Anthony Rapp, he is a guy that wants to be a filmmaker. He's just filming everything. Most of the time with no sound. So I just try to make a silent movie. There's his buddy, who's a musician, who is HIV positive. There's Rosario Dawson, who's a singer dancer at a club, very sexual. She's HIV positive. You have this other guy who's a professor, and he has AIDS. And then he's going out with this guy named Angel, who then starts cross-dressing, because they're both gay. And then he has AIDS. Like, goddamn, how many people have AIDS in this movie? It's like 2 are HIV positive and 2 have AIDS. Does Anthony Rapp have, I don't know, sclerosis? Or Dengue fever? Jesus. You know, of the 8 people, 4 of them have either HIV positive or AIDS. Jesus. So yeah, that's what. 5 people. One, oh, the other 2 are another couple, where one girl is trying to have this protest because their place is trying to be bought off and the homeless are going to be kicked out by the landlord, played by Taye Diggs, who is a former friend of Anthony Rapp and the musician guy. So Anthony Rapp, that's another one. And I said the couple, the girl that used to be with Anthony Rapp, she's a bisexual who's with this other girl. And the Terriers do a lot of singing. But if you were to ask me a questionnaire of how to describe these characters, it's really not much for me to describe, considering we're supposed to have spent a whole year with them. That's the thing, we're supposed to spend a whole year. I don't really know much jack shit about them. And that's the thing with the musical aspect is you don't really get much development because of that. You just get kind of the Cliff Notes version, it seems. And in a way, that's kind of what it's like a Cliff Notes. I mean, obviously they didn't show an entire year in real time, but it does feel like a Cliff Notes version. And it's hard to like these characters too. Like Anthony, like everybody in this neighborhood is being pissed off at this landlord, played by Taye Diggs, and they're singing this song, "How we gonna pay last year's rent? We ain't gonna pay the rent." I mean, guess what? Nobody wants to pay rent, but shit happens. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you're being able to live free for a year, Anthony Rapp, what complaints do you have? And then you're like, you said we could live here forever for free. Them are the brights. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Most people would be pissed at you the fact that you were able to live free for a year. And then Taye Diggs gives an option going, okay, we're going to make this new cyber studio, which I don't remember what the detail are. It just says cyber studio. And if you help us get this homeless people out, well, you guys will live here for free. I'll even have it on the dotted line. Now, granted, I would go take the deal, because that way, when it's built, and when you have a damn place you can live at for free and never have to pay rent ever again, that means, I don't know how that would work with facilities like electricity, water. Maybe they have to pay for that, but it's a lot less money you have to pay, which would probably give you a bit more time to do your film and do all this stuff, and then you could help the homeless that way. Make a film about the homeless, sell it. It would seem like you would get a bit more free time when, yeah, you still got to make money for food and stuff, but you don't have to worry about paying your rent. Seems like it would be best to do the... And this is like a huge block. This is like a huge city block of people, and apparently nobody in this whole block has paid rent. That shit wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fly in 1989, let alone today. But hey, what do I know? Rosario Dawson, there's a song she sings with the musician guy, and she keeps saying, "Will you light my candle?" I'm like, you damn bossy. You light your own fucking candle. I don't give light your own damn candle. I don't give a crap about your candle. You light it. You didn't even light it with a fart. How about that? How about light it with a fart? You bossy. Will you light my candle? I'm like, yeah, I will if you put the wax on me, and then I put the wax on you, and we do it too with the waxy foo. You know, do the waxy foo, put it in your goo, and it will be my goo, and put it in your gooch with the waxy foo. You fool, fool me, I fool you. Light, will you light my candle? Come on, baby, light my fire. I'm like, bossy. And some weird lines like, they say I have the best ass below 14th Street. And this is all done by song as well. These lines of dialogue. Yay there, baby. They say I have the best ass below 14th Street. I'm not looking. Again, even the dialogue, they're trying to sing the dialogue, and it's like, oh my god. I can't, that's a bit more annoying to me. When even the dialogue is being sung. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, imagine me doing a review where it's like, here I am doing a review for Rent. I can't do it because I can't sing for crap, and I would go insane. I don't know if they do that on the Broadway. And I wouldn't even say the actors. I don't think they're doing a bad job acting. I don't think they're doing a bad job singing. Again, some of the songs seem a bit catchy jingle wise. And in the opening, where they're kind of just standing as if they're introducing to a concert by just introducing people to the film, and they're just standing in a line. And then the next scene where it's like the whole block is singing. This is, again, catchy music. Some of it, though, like, you listen to the lyrics, there's some really screwed up stuff to the lyrics. Like, the professor, it's funny, because he gets mugged, and then this guy, who becomes his girlfriend, Angel, meets him, and then, like, the next scene, oh, maybe not the next scene, to be fair, but it felt like 10 minutes later, Angel is now cross-dressing and comfortable talking with this professor's like two buddies, Anthony Rap musician, and he's singing this song about this dog named Evita. And when you listen to the lyrics, it's about this dog named Evita. This song like Today for You. How he makes, or she, whatever, makes the dog insane to kill itself. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's like, you made the dog insane to end its life. What? It's such a weird, like, why? Like, why is this the song you're singing? Why? What purpose? What the fuck? What? What? What the fuck? What? Anthony Rapp goes to see this girl, which he finds out is the girlfriend of his ex. And the two of them do the Tango Maureen, which is a girl they both like. That, again, is Anthony Rapp's ex and is this other girl's new girlfriend. And then he imagines a whole set of tango dancers. Which is funny that he imagines that, and then he wakes up. Like, that's the bit that's fantasy. The whole block scene in this party, like, hundreds of people seen around with all these buildings, that was reality. But him with all these tango dancers, that's fantasy. Sure, why not? And then the girl they both like, Maureen, she's hosted this protest because they don't want the homeless to be evacuated by this landlord. Which Tate Diz doesn't seem like a bad guy. That's the thing. Tate Diz doesn't seem like a bad... And he's not in the film that much, sadly. He appears 2-3 times, and he disappears for like an hour or so. Which is too bad. He's not in it that much. Which is a shame. Or at least it feels... Maybe it's not an hour. It feels like it. I'll put it that way. It feels like it. It just... He's not in it as much as I thought he would. Because he's definitely the least... One of the lesser used characters in the story. And during this protest, the girl Maureen starts saying, "Moo with me. Moo with me." I don't care who, what, when, where, how, and what you're trying to accomplish. I'm not mooing for anybody. Okay, unless you're paying me a good chunk of change, even my PayPal, down below in the info box. I'm not mooing for anybody, lady. I'll moon you and pull my pants down, as long as I don't get arrested. But I'm not mooing for anybody. I'm not a cow. I'm not dairy. My nipples aren't getting milked. I'm not mooing. Okay? I'm not Babe, Pig and City. Moo cow moo. Oh, actually, wasn't that sheep? I can't remember. It's been forever since I've seen Babe. There's a Bahram U or something. I don't know. Crazy done cows as well. Who gives a shit? But I'm not mooing. And the crowd rioted. They should have rioted when she said "boo" with me. But no, they rioted for other reasons. So the group gets to this restaurant, which Tate Diz is there meeting with some men. And this scene felt insufferably long. Where they're ordering food and they're just singing every order of the food. And they're saying lines like, "creation, vacation, mucho masturbation." I'm like, you know what? I'd rather do all those things than watch this film. It's not the worst film I've seen, but it's just like... There are some musicals I don't mind. I mentioned I like Little Shop of Horrors. A Star is Born, but that's more of a movie with musical moments in it. Grease. Sorry. Grease has this likable charm to it. With the music numbers interspersed throughout that really, to me, elevate the movie. Here is almost non-stop. I'm like, I don't need to hear you sing about food. And it feels like it's a 10-minute scene, man. By the way, these people are complaining about, all this stuff. You guys seem pretty well dressed and well fed for people that don't want to pay rent. They're dressed pretty well. They're not in bad shape physically. The musician looks like he's from the CW. Or ready to work with Bon Jovi. Ready to replace Bon Jovi, honestly. Hell, there was a full minute I thought it was Bon Jovi. But y'all seem well fed. Seems like y'all doing fine. Seems like you're well dressed. For all this talk of, you have this big dinner. For all this talk of money problems. If you have money problems, pay the rent. But, and they throw some montages in there. The bi couple, Maureen and Joanne, they're together. Or at least it seems like they get together. And then they're at like one of their parents or both parents gathering. Which, I mean, it's kind of interesting that the parents are all gun-ho for it. Which I mean, especially in 1989, there'd probably be some parents that would be looking down their nose at this whole thing, and they wouldn't be as open-minded. But they seem in such a chipper mood at times that it took me a full minute to realize they were breaking up. Hell, the way they were singing, it was like a seductive thing. I thought they were on a screw on the pool table. Or scissor on the pool table, I guess. I didn't the way they're I guess chipper's not the right word, but I didn't never see. I thought it was like some seductive thing. They're on a screw, scissor. And instead they broke up, and it took me a full minute to realize that. Or like you're going through this time frame where it seems like some important information is being rushed through, because now here's the montage of here's the professor and his girlfriend Angel, and Angel's getting sick, and then he's in the hospital. This is AIDS, and then here's the musician Rosario. Rosario keeps using drugs, and the musician doesn't like that, and why you keep doing it, and blah blah blah. And then Angel dies, and I'm supposed to care, because Angel was not that three-dimensional of a character for me to care about. I mean, the most pertinent thing is him and the Angel and the professor went to these meetings about their AIDS, condition, and Angel sang a song about driving a dog to end its life. Other than some side little remarks, didn't really feel like much of a character for me to care that Angel died. I don't give a fuck. And because it's being so rushed with all these musical interludes, I got no dramatic emotional heft to it. I'm not expected to be Philadelphia to the Bruce Springsteen song, but and then like they do the funeral, and then they're leaving through the cemetery, and they're arguing over stupid shit. Like the stuff they're arguing are such first world problems. I'm like, oh my god. Like, each of these people's problems could be solved in 5 minutes. And also, you're arguing while this guy, your friend, is trying to grieve that their loved one died. And it's like, it's hard for me to root for any of you because you're all stupid. Except maybe the professor. That guy is probably the least stupid. Well, I guess, of course, he's a professor. Of course he'd be the smartest. But, and maybe Anthony Rapp. But like the two couples, they're arguing over stupid shit. Like, the musician thinks that Rosario's going with Tay Diggs, because I guess they knew each other in the past. But Tay Diggs really has not shown anything much of terrible, horrible personality that he would do that kind of thing. If at one point he locked up the place, because hey, they didn't pay the rent. And I don't know why you assumed you wouldn't pay forever. Right, he said it once, but then it's like, hey, I have these other people, but I could put it down in writing if you do this. They didn't want to. But then later on, he apologizes, he unlocks, and he gets their stuff back. And then some time goes by, and they go their separate ways, and Anthony Rapp takes a job, but he doesn't like his job because he thinks, oh, I'm betraying my values. What, getting a job that pays money? What, you a hippie from the 60s? to make your film that no one is watching and you haven't finished. And the musician goes, and then he is depressed, so he goes back home, and him and Anthony rap. I was waiting for them to kiss, the musician and the filmmaker, because they're singing about, I don't know what the hell they were singing about. They're not bad singers. I'll give you this. I don't think it's a bad looking movie. It has a very glossy look to it. I don't think it's a badly sung movie. I've mentioned that the songs a lot of times do have a catchy ring to it. But the story, I just thought the story was very threadbare. I don't think the story really has that much depth of the characters to incorporate 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it is a lot of characters try to, 8 of them. They're trying to, and a lot of them get lost in the shuffle. Like Angel, what do we know about Angel? Angel liked the crossdress, was in love with the professor, and something about dog. Tay Diggs was a former friend. Not really sure how they split apart. And you don't really get much of them like getting back together. Like Tay Diggs having a sincere conversation with Anthony Rapp or the musician or anybody else. And they throw in this very, very melodramatic thing where the rest of them have come together at the end because they don't know where Rosario Dawson is at. They find her and she's dying, and musician admits that he loves her and she loves him, and it seems like she dies, and there's a beat and a beat, and then she's alive again for some reason. And then the bisexual couple have gone back together. I think Tay Diggs that scene just kind of off to the side, which is just awkward because you didn't really get a sense of him getting to be back into the group and being friends with them or anything. Not even sure if they mentioned how they solved, like, is he still going to make this a cyber studio? Is he going to do something else? Are they kind of back to where they were again? Except, I guess, some of them have found love. I guess. But the filmmaker shows his movie, which is just random footage from what we've just seen throughout the film. So are they really... but I guess the music is very chipper, so I guess they're in the better state of affairs. They might have explained in the dialogue, and I forgot. But I was just kind of ready for this movie to end. If you love Rent... But apparently a lot of people who like the Broadway musical don't even like the movie. So I don't know. It definitely didn't... Like I said, it bombed. I wish Tay Diggs was utilized a lot more. I wish there was a bit more... just character sequences of development and conversation, and not almost like a constantly assortment of songs. I guess it's musical, but again, even Grease had more moments of stop, let's have a movie, and then songs. And it's just like I said, I thought the drama, it was very lackluster in this. So then I really didn't care what was going on. That's just me, though. But I'm sure it's one of those things that maybe you just looked at the soundtrack and bop your head to a couple of the songs. I'll give maybe credit to that. But I mean, that's just me. Like I said, I've never seen the Broadway play before. I don't really go towards musical normally. There's a couple that I don't mind or I like, but yeah, take that for what you will. Just thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.